What is going on, everybody? It's Mike Tavish here, and today we're having a look at this, the Goat RDA by Grim Green and Homeboy OC, I think it is, Homeboy OC. It's the packaging here for it. Super interesting little design and highly credible resources of why both of them have kind of came together to do this. But before we go down to the review, I just want to point out something that something about this particular RDA that I quite like is an own personal family member of mine suffers from certain limitations, and to have an RDA like this particular one out in the market, it's absolutely fantastic. I know obviously the origins of why this was made, you know, this is it here, of why it was made, and highly commendable. So Grim and Dwayne, massive thumbs up, guys. Absolutely, you know, phenomenal RDA. So let's quit waffling and get down into the table cam and take it from there. And we are down on the table cam, guys, with the Goat. The Goat RDA. God, there is some brightness coming from this today. It's not even switched on. So this is the Goat itself. As you can see, it is still in the packaging. Now the Goat is obviously a collaboration by Homeboy, Grim Green. These are the two that designed it, but I would also say there's a third participant in this as well, and that is obviously the anarchist Wire, obviously. And you'll see why I think this is I know it's a collaboration between this guy and this guy, but I think he has like a third party in it as well, and you'll see why in just a moment. So this is the box for the Goat, and as you can see, it is not the typical RDA box that you get. Normally it's about this big and it's about this tall, and it's got bells and whistles on it. I like this because it's super simple, it saves up in packaging, and as you can see, it is still sealed. So let us get this bad boy open, and as you can see, I have got the black rendition. Obviously you've got the Goat base, which I'll explain what these are in just a moment. You've got the AFC top cap, 810 drip tip, 22 gauge anarchist wire, which is one that comes in at 1.13 and one at 0.19, and obviously they are obviously the product uses nickel, so if you have got any nickel intolerances, guys, I strongly recommend staying away from them. But there is another version of the Goat out that uses a deck that you can use your own coils in, which will probably have a review for myself further down the line, kind of like an evolution of this one. So let's get this bad boy open. There we go. Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've actually opened something properly. I normally have it open, I've tried it for a few days, whereas this literally came in the door as I was leaving today, and it's literally been sitting in my cupboard, like chanting at me, come and boot me. So here we are. So the box itself is super dainty. I do actually like the box itself. It's, as I said, it's super plain. It doesn't have to be crazy. So let's get this open. God, it's a tight fit. There we are. So you got the Goat there itself, which we'll go into in just a moment. And this you have your, this is the point, I want to see which anarchist base is the lower resistance, because I'm going to be using it on a mechanical mod later on tonight. So this one here is the 0.19, and this one is the 0.13. These are really super interesting, and I'll explain why obviously I decided to do a review on this. But let's get the Goat out first, shall we? So nothing in the bottom of the box, which is totally fine. You do get your extra O-rings in the bottom of the packaging, just under where the Goat is. Pop them in, we don't really need them. Packaging. And here is the Goat itself. So that is it there. It's actually quite nice, it's quite simplistic. I do like the logo on it. It's just one side, it's not like double branded everywhere. And it's got goat on the bottom, it's got a stainless steel there, the deck itself is stainless steel with the serial number just there on the top. Let me just grab a quick mod now, just so I can, because I don't know how tight the O-rings are on this. But it feels nice. It feels like a almost like a kind of Cerakoting that's on here. So I've just popped on the Invader there just so I've got something to grab onto. So let's have a look at this. Yeah. Now, a lot of people who have, when they usually see an RDA, they go, oh, this is the deck, it does this, it does that, it does this, and it does that. The reason why, oh, there you go, and it's got Grim and Homeboy down at the bottom. Right, so the reason why I decided to do a review on this is everyone has that family member who has either a physical disability, a neurological disability, and they want to try building a dripper, and because of their limitations they can't do this. This is where this comes into play. Even Grim Green himself, when he done the presentation for this, actually mentioned that he was actually inspired by a gent who was legally blind, and this is kind of, I'm guessing, where it kind of leaded to. So what we'll do is I'll just take one of these out just now. Let's see here. So I'm looking for the 22 gauge, which is just there. I know obviously it says that's for the 22, which will give me the lower resistance. Apologies guys, it's been a long day. I've done my garden, my mother-in-law's garden, and I'm absolutely shattered. Now, this is it here. So instead of having to worry about taking a drill bit out and, taking a spool of cotton and them trying to guess what it is, or if they've got a dexterity issue, it's already built with this thing. This is where the Anarchist wire comes into place. That's why I said this is kind of like the quiet third member of the collaboration. This is it here. And it is Squonk compatible. I'll explain how all that works in just a moment, but look at this. A family member, you ask them to... Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. You ask a family member, you're think of it this way, you're the one that obviously has your limitations. Either you're blind or you've got a nerve issue that means you can't use your hands properly. You ask your partner, your brother, your sister to take this and screw it in here, and they can do it for you, no problem. You can, with pardon the pun, but you can do it literally with your eyes shut. And I think that's where the intention of this particular device came into, where it actually came into its own. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So making sure my device is off so it doesn't go off while I've got it in my hand. So all you're really doing is taking this and threading it in. So go back one step so you feel the catch, and then you just twist this bad boy in. So the coils are obviously a little bit higher than what you would normally get, but I think, over time you would be able to obviously stick a wee screwdriver in there and just give them a little nudge if you wanted to. But for the sake of the review, buying it as is, this is obviously the main reason why I bought it. It's already wicked up. And the other good thing is as well, if this is the low resistance one, which is the 0.13, is the one you always want to use, your family member's got a reference with the other one still stuck in the bag. That's how it's supposed to look. And they can always go into a reviewer like myself, like anyone else who's done a review on the goat, and actually go, okay, so they've got to cut that, do this, do this, do that. Not making them a builder for you, but a 5-minute process instead of having to get your wire, wrap it. I get that there's pre-built coils, but there's people out there who are even frightened to do RDAs alone, whereas this is also a cracking start for those people as well. So it's multifunctional, and its own little multiverse. It's I'm actually very impressed with the design of it. It's well built. There's no dings, dents, or anything from what I can see. The actual inside of the top cap is absolutely, that it's flawless. There's nothing wrong with it. The only criticism, if I were to give it, and I think obviously Grim knows where this would be going, is this looks like the Goon 1.5 from the side. That's it. But I can see why he's done obviously the Cyclops slots, because it's a design that everybody loves, is the Goon. So you know what? I wouldn't even give him any hassle for it. If anything, a big thumbs up. He's given another accessible product by basically having something very similar to the Goon 1.5, the LP I think it was here, and you know what? I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't have any issues with that whatsoever. If anything, as I said, he gets a thumbs up from me. Right, so to any family member who is obviously going to be doing this, for anyone who obviously has their limitations, I know I keep saying limitations, but I don't want to offend anyone out there. With this particular kit, you literally just want to cut it. There's two ways that you could either do it. You could do it a little bit longer, or you can do it the way that Grim Green does, which I'm also going to simulate, just to show you how simple it can be. So, all you're going to do is take your scissors, either that be scissors from the drawer, from a build kit that you've decided, you know what, I'll treat myself. You're literally going to rest up against the build deck, and these need sharpened. There we go. Cut. Like so. Because you've done this one, all you need to do is rest the scissors against it. Cut. Like so. And then just copy the same process on the other side. It is literally that simple. For somebody who's, essentially aiding anyone who can't do it. Like so. It looks a little bit funny at the moment. I am going to be just grabbing another little... I'll grab my screwdriver with a straight side. Sorry guys. That's another top tip. If you're ever doing a build on a camera or just anywhere in general, make sure you have every single tool to hand. And all you're really doing is essentially what is known as the dam method. You're basically taking the ends of the cotton that are fluffed out here, and you're pushing it down into the deck. So lift up and flip it down, like so. Just making sure that you're leaving enough space there for air to come underneath the coil, because obviously your airflow is going to be sitting kind of there on the coil near the bottom. So it's going to be under coil and slight side airflow with this particular RDA. So again, give it a quick fluff. You grab it and you just lift and push. Lift it up, push it down. Basically it takes the ends of the coil and actually adjusts them, and it falls in more naturally. So let's fluff it up again. If you feel like this is too much cotton, the great thing is you can cut it off, and if you screw up, there is another extra one in the bag, but you can also buy a bag of cotton for around about £5 these days. So like so. And my only other bit of kind of helpfulness I'd be able to give anyone who's looking to use this, obviously because there's cotton already been installed, I have a feeling that they've already kind of dry burned the coils, if you like. So the best thing really to do is just douse this thing with juice, and then obviously do your just pulse it and pulse it and pulse it. When you're taking the cotton out, just a quick, take like your screwdriver bit that you used to put in there, and just a quick, rake across the top until you see any hot spots disappear. Right, I'm going to quickly show you. I don't have any skunk mods that are actually operational at the moment. They're all kind of in their boxes at the moment. But what basically happens is when you push the squonk bottle, which would normally be down here or down here, you squeeze it and it actually has like a waterfall effect. It actually falls over the top and comes down the front and lands in the reservoir under here, under the tank. And that's on both sides, so one there and one there. So it's squonkable, it's drippable. I'm obviously going to be using it in dripping mode at the moment. As I said, I would totally use this in squonk configuration, but I don't have a squonker ready. I'm just too eager to get this out on camera to show you. I'm just grabbing my liquid, guys, just bear with me 1 second. Where is it? There you are. I'm going to be using my tried and true Iron Lung from the Brew Bros. This is Iron Brew flavour for you guys out there who don't know what Iron Brew is. It's made from girders. So all I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm switching my device on. So 250ml bottle for £14.99 or £15.99 if you go for the 80/20. Check Brew Bros out. They've got fantastic flavours. The customer service is just fantastic. I cannot recommend them enough. That was on me there. And all I'm going to do, because I've put liquid in there, is I'm just going to move that cotton around just a little bit, making sure that the cotton's getting enough time to wick. Honestly, if you were to put a goon deck in this, you would basically have yourself, you know, a workhorse version of the goon. And if you just drop it on like that, it's going to cascade in here. So if you're going to be a typical dripper and you're going to be dropping through the top of your top cap, it's going to hit this, because it's not straight, it's actually, if I lift it up, it's going to leak everywhere. But this is curved. See how it's actually got a curve on it? So that liquid's going to hit that and it's just going to roll off the sides. And the deck actually has two kind of separate reservoirs. So obviously you've got ones where the cotton's sitting. This is empty. This is empty. And then you've got the two pockets in here as well. So it's essentially got 4 little mini reservoirs inside the deck itself, which is quite clever. It means your cotton's... Watch, I'll show you again. So it just rolls off. I think that's fantastic. And that's sitting around about 100 watts, give or take, on the potentiometer. It's not an exact science for me at the moment. I'm still learning bit by bit, day by day. But yeah, I would say that I am totally happy with that. So let's get the top cap on it and we'll complete the look. Oh yeah, ASC is exactly the same as the goon. So you literally just grab and pinch. See, because it's black, so there you go. And it only is in dual coil configuration for these, which is totally fine by me. A lot of other people might find that a con, but considering the design aspects for this, I think it's absolutely fantastic. So let's have a wee quick toot on this while I'm on camera, so I can give you guys one. It's exactly, if I have owned a goon in the past, and where the coil's sitting in this little where the coil's sitting on the coil head itself is exactly where I would have it on the goon. Absolutely spot on. So let's have a quick. Oh yeah, nothing wrong with that. I am absolutely fine with that. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll come back up the top. I'll go through some pros and cons, where I got this from, and let you know if I recommend it or not. So let's go. So we're back up the top, guys, with the... Oh, let me just turn this down. We're back up the top with the Go RDA. I absolutely love it. It's great, it's simple, it's very goon-esque. Obviously I mentioned that down on the table. I mean, look at it from the side. If I didn't show you the goat on the side, it reminds me of the Goon LP, which I can totally see why Grim and Dwayne decided to go down that route, because from what I've seen in their videos, they're very fond of the Goon. So what a hell of an RDA to base this off of. The coil heads, I love the design of them as well. It means if anyone who has either never tried building before, never tried an RDA, it's foolproof. It really is. You can't build too low. Obviously, the longevity of the coil head obviously depends on how well you maintain it. But I absolutely love it. I'm not gonna have a proper gush fest over it. I think it's just mainly because, as I said at the very beginning of this video, I've got a family member who, actually two, one who's got dexterity issues with one of their hands, so they might not be able to build properly, and one of my siblings is actually legally blind. So for them to actually go out and buy this, and for their partner or carer to go, just screw that in there, cut the cotton, bish bash bosh, bolt your liquid onto it, and you're vaping an RDA. It's fantastic. It really is. It's super easy to adjust. You've got your airflow, you know, everything across the board. It's super clean. It's super tidy, and you know, even to take the tolerances on the cap are fantastic as well. Just learning how to to aim for the where you want your liquid to go. That's like a bit of a learning curve, but that's something that you can learn over time. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Right, so I got this beauty at Vape and Brew. It's Bunny, from the Bitches of Eastwick are Bunny. It's her actual company. I'm all for supporting local and small businesses. So if you're looking for a bargain, which this was, get yourself over there and have a look. So it's Vape and Brew. Just type that into Google, because obviously I can't leave any links because YouTube are, it's against their policies. I was going to say something else there, but I'm new to this and I don't want to get barred already. So on there, they've got tons of RDAs, they've got liquids, they've got, it's essentially an online vape shop. So go on there, have a look at some of their deals that they've got on there as well. So again, to Amanda, thank you so much for pointing me in the direction of this beauty. It's absolutely fantastic. Just before I go, I want to have one more shout out. You all probably saw this on my Facebook earlier on this morning. This is from a brand new company that's just started, and this is the prototype, so still in a work in progress at the moment. This is from Stella Star Resin. This is the Wismic RX Machina, or Machina, depending on where you are in the world, and I've got it on the blotto. It's resin, and it's a one-off prototype, and it was my wife that did it. Or wife-to-be, should I say, but I always call her the wife. I'm super proud of her. It's an avenue that she's never ever done before. She's obviously doing it with the kind of crystal and tarot card community, and I approached her and said, look, make this for me, and she did. And I said, look, it's absolutely fantastic. It's got nice grip to it, it's got nice texture to it. It's grippy, but it's smooth. And then you've got your 810. Obviously, the 810, as I said, it's a prototype. It's because it's slightly flawed, but it's only me that's going to be using this one. And that's why it's a one of one, and it's just for me. And you'll find her on Instagram. So it's Stella Stop Resin, and you'll see this bad boy sitting there. So again, to my missus, love you so much. This is fantastic. I've been enjoying the hell out of this all day. Last but not least, I feel like I've been doing this forever. Tonight is Friday, so Friday is Bargain Vapes. So get yourself on YouTube for about 9:25 on the Skint Vapors channel. Get yourself a couple of drinks, settle yourself in for a couple of laughs, and most importantly, some bargains as well. Tonight we have Aiden Littlebro Vapes on, so super excited. I'm quite a fan of Aiden's. I like the way that he does his reviews. I love the bubbly attitude that he has, and he does the big love. So we're going to be doing a lot of big love tonight, hopefully. And I will see you guys in the next one. Not too sure what that will be, but we'll get there when we get there. So, would I recommend this? Absolutely. For anyone on any scale, if you're an experienced builder who cannot be bothered building that day, screw the deck, screw the coil head into the deck, cut your leads, and off you go. For somebody who's never ever done it before, and it looks totally perplexing and petrifying, they're already built with resistances in mind. So you don't need to really know your Ohm's law. That's something that you can learn over time. And if you have any motor issues, dexterity issues, vision issues, pick one of these up. You will absolutely love it. Right, I'm stopping the Gush Fest right here. I'm going to have a couple of beers, get myself ready for Bargain Vapes tonight. And hopefully, I will see you all there. Stay safe.